Supreme Lord, eternal truth, let us obey thee alone and live according to truth. परमोच प्रभु सत्यम नित्य त्वमेव केवलम अनुवर्तामहे सत्यम अनुजीवम केवलम ओम शांति शांति शांति. Namaste, good morning, Vande Matram, welcome all of you. Today the topic of this morning session on spiritualism is on India and on West. The topic of today's discussion is on India and on the West. The topic has to be discussed in the light of Mother and Sri Aurobindo's writings. So very interesting topics. Mother and Sri Aurobindo has quoted few lines. Number of lines will quote from Mother and Sri Aurobindo in their basing upon their philosophy and their observation. So this topic of this morning discussion is on India and on the West. There is a beautiful introduction here. India, the chosen land, that truth is preserved. India alone can build the future of mankind. Sri Aurobindo, India's Rebirth, page 88, Sri Aurobindo has quoted. India, the chosen land, that truth is preserved. India alone can build the future of the mankind, not only for India or any province or nearby or Asia, but India alone can build the future of the mankind. This is the message, very beautiful message as messaged by Sri Aurobindo in this very clear, very with much clarity, with much confidence, and of course with certainty. He has ascertained that India alone can build the future of mankind. Second, the question is, what is India going to do with her independence? Bolshevism, Gundaraj, things look ominous. So, the question is, what is India going to do with her independence? Bolshevism and etc., Gundaraj, things look ominous. Then comes the message. But by whatever means the division, India and Pakistan of course, but by whatever means the division, India and Pakistan must and will go. Definitely this division will not stay forever, it has to go, it will go. For without it, the destiny of India might be seriously impaired. Without the unification of India and Pakistan, the destiny of India might be seriously impaired and even frustrated, but that must not be impaired or frustrated. India and Pakistan, they have to get united. So this is the thing. Where is the position of Pakistan? I don't see Pakistan. See, because India will get united. The next message is that India must be saved for the good of the world. India must be saved for the good of the world, since India alone can lead the world to peace and to new world order. So India will be the spiritual guru. India will be the guide. India will stand at the front. It will guide in the world to peace and a new world discover. So for that only, for the interest of the entire world, for their spiritual guide and their of course their guidance and to get enlightened, India must be saved for the good of the world. The very next message is there, very interesting message. The future of India is very clear. The future of India is very clear. India is the guru of the world. Short before I was just telling, India is the guru of the world. The future structure of the world depends on India. So India has to carry the future structure load of the entire world. It has to enlighten the world. It has to carry forward. It has to guide the world, and India will bring the transformation. India is the living soul. She incarnates the spiritual knowledge of the world. She incarnates the spiritual knowledge of the world. The government of India ought to recognize the significance of India in the sphere of and plan their action accordingly. So this is the thing India has to do. India has to be guru of the world. It is the living soul. It incarnates the spiritual knowledge of the world. So it has to be recognized, and the government of India has to carry out. Now you can see India is now following maybe the corona case, the vaccination, for the unification. So India is given the maximum importance. Of course, this government of India is taking the active role. India is representation of the human difficulties on earth. India is the representation of all human difficulties on the earth. It has varied culture, language, food, everything is there. So many diversities, but still then it is united. Unity among diversities. So all human difficulties is the India is the representation on earth, and it is in India that the cure will be found. It is taking all, carrying all. It knows the cure is there with it, so it has to go and it has to carry the cure. The cure will be found. That India is the place where the fate of earth will be decided. The entire fate of the mankind of the earth will be decided. India is the place. Then very important sentence we will see, very message we will see here. It is pleasant inferno they have created in Europe, a hell not of torments, but of pleasures, of lights, carriages, of balls, and dances and suppers, of theatres and caves and music halls, of libraries and clubs and academies, of national galleries and exhibitions, of factories, shops, banks, stock exchanges. But it is hell, the schools. Everything is there in West, it has been done. It is the progress, material progress. But here the quotes it is hell, as the same not in the heaven of which the saint and poets are dreamed. The entire from the book Time Eternal in India, where the saints have poets have dreamed, it is not the same heaven. The New Jerusalem, the Golden City, London, and New York are the holy cities of the new religion. Paris is the golden paradise of the of the pleasure. Thing is that India's Sri Aurobindo on India's rebirth is written. It is there. It is representing everything. But the thing is that it is sometimes not the dreams of the eternal poets and the saints. A thousand newspapers vulgarizes knowledge, debase aesthetic appreciation, democratize success, but and make impossible all that once unusual and noble. The thing is that present these newspapers are they are concentrating on the present scenario. The past is forgotten. The entire culture is not taken care of. Things what is seen right now is the mental jurisdiction, and this with the surface phenomenon, everything is visualized right now. That stupendous effort, of course, Western materialism and civilization is over. Stupendous efforts here in the course here is over. Of Western materialism and civilization, it is not working. It has not yet frankly declared, but its bankruptcy. But it is bankrupt. Not to be declared as bankruptcy, it may take some time to be declared bankrupt. Of course, it is bankrupt because their effort, Western materialism and civilization, are over. Nothing more to be expected from them. That has reached its zenith. The scientific, rationalistic, industrial, pseudo-democratic civilization of the West is now in progress of dissolution. Things are breaking down. So, rationalistic, scientific, industrial, pseudo-democratic civilization of the West in the process of dissolution, and it would be a lunatic absurdity for us at the moment to build on that sinking foundation. So this foundation is sinking. It is time for India to get up, to rise up, to erect the structure, and to lead everyone to a new horizon. Then it is the very nice message rather. It is impossible to change humanity by political machinery. It can't be done with politics. Nothing can be done because thing has got its limited achievement. Spiritualism is the most, and India is the almost chosen country for the spiritualism. India will take care and will take the lead. But I can't promise you that the divine's will to preserve the present human civilization, present civilization, mother courts. I can't promise that the divine's will is to preserve the present civilization. It has to change. Lot of lacuna is there, lot of difficulties, lot of shortcomings are there. It is better to destroy the capitalist class as the socialists want to do. They are the sources of national wealth. It has to. It is better not to destroy the capitalist class as the socialists want to do. It is not wise they can to do. They should be encouraged to spend for the nation. They should be, because this is the for the growth progress it is required. They should be encouraged to spend for the nation. Taxing is all right, but you must increase the production, start new industries, and raise the standard of living. Without that, you can't increase the taxes. If there is not production, who will give you taxes? This, if the market is not expanding, then how you will get the revenue? It will be state of depression. So Sri Aurobindo quoted in during that time on India's rebirth. Sri Aurobindo quoted in page 212 and 13. Then nowadays people want to modern type of democracy. People are offering modern type of democracy, not the usual type democracy. The parliamentary form of governance. The parliamentary system is doomed. So the parliamentary system is doomed. It has brought Europe to its present pass. So there is a essence, there is a need now for the modern type of democracy. Then Sri Aurobindo quotes again. To govern properly, you have to be a sage. Very interesting way. To govern properly, you have to become a sage. You should have a universal vision and above all personal questions. There is not one. Sri Aurobindo completely in a free voice, in a very rigid voice speaks. There is not one. To govern, again I will try to quote it. To govern properly, you have to be a sage. As you know now itself, this Narendra Modi government and all these people who are ruling of the almost most are the bachelors. They are actually yogis. They are accepting the yogic principles and all. You have to be a sage. You should have a universal vision. Of course, yogi, the chief minister UP also. So, like these people are yogis are coming into the arena to the front. Uma Bharati and all, so many examples are there. And above all, the personal questionings you have to get rid of. There is no one, not one. Then again, there is a very interesting observation. These people, politicians, are going to ruin the country. Sure, in the quotes, because he had very good observation during the nationalist movement, of course. They are going to ruin the country. They have neither consciousness nor knowledge, nor will. They have neither, these present politicians, they have neither consciousness nor knowledge nor will, and they are going to ruin the country. The country will be ruined with their principles. We need a world organization, UNO, world organization, but by whom? It should be by people who have who have at least a world consciousness. It must be done that world organization, people who are having some consciousness, because present politicians, they don't have the neither consciousness nor knowledge nor will. Then Sri Aurobindo has foreseen, mother quotes, Sri Aurobindo has foreseen all the troubles and given the solutions, problems he has seen and solutions he has given. It is to organize the country beyond politics. So politics and political method is not the solution. You have to go beyond the politics. You have to see beyond the politics. It is to organize the country beyond politics, and there is the only way in politics. There is the one fight and ugly fight. There is fight, but one fight and ugly fight. Ugly, still mother quotes ugly. And it has become so bad at times at present. Then, quoting another message, in India, if India follows in the footsteps of Europe, if we follow the footsteps of Europe, accept her political ideals, social systems, economic principles, she will be overcome with some maladies. She will be, if they are following like this, footsteps of Europe, accept her political ideals, social systems, economic principles, she will be overcome with some maladies. Such a consummation is neither for the good of India or for the good of Europe rather. So it is not helpful. If India becomes an intellectual province of Europe, she will never attain the natural quietness or fulfill the possibilities within her. So here in the question, Param Brahma principle, he has to accept and